Okay, I'm going to try and make a video on the 1st of every month. As I was saying, on the 1st of every month to show what progress I'm making. This is the 1st of April. My front garden is pretty much cleared out of weeds, or it was a couple of days ago. There are some spring flowers. There are actually more daffodils now than when I dug them all up last year. I don't know where they came from. A few weeds are coming out here. Another week it'll need weeding again. Put in some new tulips here this spring. Ones that I dug out of the bed that I just showed you. This bed, which has been just a mass of weeds and overgrown bushes ever since I got the house, is finally getting somewhere. Still got lemon balm in it, but I am making progress on cutting back the massive wild rose bush that volunteered itself. Again, the more daffodils I dig out, the more there seem to be. I've also gained some really beautiful daffodils that have never been there before, double ones. Cut down the big rose bushes, dug out some of the Mombretia, a bit under there can stay. Planted an angelica for this year because I've never seen an angelica plant. I note that slugs appear to be partial to angelica plants. There was more leaf than that yesterday. Anyway, so this bed is finally starting to have something done to it. I'll sort it out properly later in the year. The garlic is coming up, first batch, second batch behind the daffodils. Those little purple things are blooming. Nothing happening there yet. That's where I plan to put the cucumbers this year. I still haven't cut back this massive thing. That will have to come. The yew is under control. The garlic chives have survived the winter. They say don't cut them for 3 years, so they're just sort of carrying on. Well, the herb garden has grown a few weeds that could do with attention, but those garlic chives have come up again as well. There appears to be a small plastic bag attached to my bay tree. Don't know how that got there. The landcress has seeded itself by the look of it, so it looks as if I have landcress. Sorrel's coming up. I planted the mint that I bought at the supermarket to use at solstice. I don't know if it's alive or dead. The peppermint that I planted doesn't seem to like. I planted it last year. It doesn't seem to have survived. I don't think it's getting enough light for peppermint. But I have some more peppermint in a pot. There's the one coveted clump of lemon balm. I tried planting some everlasting onions here. I don't think they've taken, but then they were a bit dry and wizened at the time I planted them. The red currant bush in perpetual shade is making leaves. As you can see, the garden hasn't proceeded very much further. I have got some of the weeds out. I still haven't dug this. I took the lawn off it nearly a year ago. The hedge needs attention. And there's a nettle under there. I only cleared that out a week ago. Right, what else? Flower borders. Now this is new. I've bought a couple of these troughs, which being on legs, which now have copper tape round, I'm hoping will make them proof against any slugs. That tree, the flying rowan, I still don't approve. The other trough that I've bought to use up this massive patio my parents created. Also I hope slug proof. I've put the strawberries in it, except for that one which has a nettle growing in it. I didn't really fancy transplanting nettles into my new planter. Okay, horseradish appears finally to have outgrown the snails as the weather warms up. These crocuses didn't exist last year. I don't know where they came from. There were probably more in that area, just there, but I dug that last year for peas. Blackberry's alive. Still don't know if it makes decent fruit. Haven't made any yet. One of my rat's tails radishes didn't seed last year, so see if it will seed this year. A couple of leftover cabbages, not really useful. going to seed now. Yes, this bed needs attention. This is the one I did actually dig last year, but it hasn't been sorted out for spring. And oh look, it sprouted a bramble. Cut down the Swiss chard. Suggestion is it might make some edible new leaves. Could be doing. It's also making flowers. Those fritillaries weren't there last year. Probably lots more in the bit I dug up. Who knows? Anyway, they've appeared. They're rather pretty. I rather like them. I doubt I'll be able to salvage them though. And this is Weed City. This needs sorting. So does that. Okay. Gooseberry bush coming into leaf. Worcesterberry in a small pot. When I finally get this area cleared out, I'm going to put the Worcesterberry in there. Look, more weeds. And another flowering cabbage. I'm quite pleased with the raspberries. They've come up quite nicely. It looks as if I've got 7 new canes, 8, plus the old, I've forgotten the word, floricanes from last year. In its least weedy state of the year, the everlasting onion bed. Oh look, more weeds. Alpine strawberries. That's broadly where we stand at the moment. Okay, I've planted some stuff in here. It's declined to grow yet. It's only been a week. Give it time. Peas aren't doing much. Right, okay, that's the situation in April.